So how many people do you have on your team now?
Well, we've actually had our company has had a transition.
Mm-hmm.
And so we are no longer listed as what would be considered like an MLM, although we were never a multi-level marketing company, but we kind of got grouped with them.
Okay.
So that element, that team element has been eliminated so that we are no longer being put under that umbrella and microscope because it really caused a lot of issues.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. With the FTC and, all of that. Right. And it's because other companies have done bad things.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of made it bad for everybody else. Yeah. And so now we're just one big team, of
Just
pure
one
romance.
big-
Yeah. One big sisterhood of women. So we're now just kind of cohabitating and we still, it's just like we're not getting paid on levels of teams and things like that. But we are still very much a team.
Gotcha. So your zebras are still.
We're still forever as a sisterhood.
Oh,
yeah,
okay, got it.
yeah. And I'm still recruiting women into the business. So hey, if you're looking for work and to make some money and have some fun, only hit me up if you're serious about working because I work. I work.
Hey.
Doctor. Look, I had to think about Big Daddy Kane. But yeah. So definitely we're still all big one big family and things like that. It's just changed a little bit. And so our focus is not like the different teams. But it is what it is.
Yeah. So you mentioned and kind of touched on it a little bit here and there. You actually wrote a book about your life story that's kind of told some of what we've spoken about and some additional things. What made you get into have the idea that you wanted to write a book?
I always knew that I needed to write a book. I always
Needed
knew
to
that.
write.
Oh yeah, my life has been something else.
Yeah.
Jesus, the fact that I'm still here, somebody needed to read that book.
Yeah.
So I always knew that I needed to write it, and I thought, it was the perfect opportunity during the pandemic. We all had a lot more time on our hands, not having to be out there in the hustle and bustle, and because the president of Pure Romance, Chris Chickenelli, had written a book called "The Secret Is You," and he had me to be included in that book.
Oh, wow. He included you in his book.
He included me in that book as one of his success stories. And so
That's a co-authored book.
no, it's not co-authored. He just had me featured in there with some other consultants as well as part of our success stories and his success as well. So the person that helped him with his book, when he interviewed me and I was talking to him about, my life and the fact that I want a book, and he said, "Hey, listen, if you want some help," he was like, let me know and I'll be more than happy, to be able to help you tell your story.
Gotcha.
And his name is Ray Richmond. He's out of LA and he's an amazing, writer and editor. He's been around for a very long time. As a matter of fact, he was just at the premiere of Oprah Winfrey's new Color Purple. So he was just there with her and all of that. And so I said, yeah, this was because, I've always wanted to write a book. And I always kind of like jotted down different chapters or things that I want to talk about. But one of my weak points has always been the process of things. Like I'm an execute, finalize person, but like actually going through the process and breaking things down, that's always been a struggle for me to actually get those things and going and stay on track. Like I'm a squirrel. I'm over here, I'm over there. And so actually having somebody to say, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to work together. And this is the process. Like I need someone to say, look, this is the process. And I'm like, oh, that's the process. Okay, I can take it and run with it. But actually developing the process and just going about it on my own, I need accountability and deadlines.
Oh, and that's why it was good to have him.
Yes, because he'll be like, okay, so we're going to meet on this day and this is going to be the topic. We're going to talk. I'm going to interview with you about this. And so that was what helped me to get the book done. You know what I'm saying? Which a lot of people need that. Otherwise, they're writing their story for years.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got it done maybe 8 months, I think. We started, maybe we started like June. Yeah, maybe June we probably started. And don't ask me what year. I have to think back. But, and then the book was going to print and everything that following year in May.
Oh, wow. Oh, that was a quick turnaround.
Oh, yeah. We got it done.
Did you have to go through the process of like getting a publisher and all that good
Well,
stuff?
I self-published and so I self-published. So I didn't look to go to like a larger entity to publish it, but it's available everywhere. It's available everywhere. Everywhere you can find books. If you were to Google it, you'll find it everywhere.
what's the
Hard
name of it?
copies
So-
called Who Are You? Tales of a Survivor.
Okay.
And it's also on Audible, so you can get it on Audible. That
Okay.
it was important to me to have it there as well for people who don't really like to read. Yeah, and I also, the way that I wrote the book, I felt, which was validated, I felt it was written in a way that even the non-reader would be engaged. And it's definitely, a lot of people read it in one day. It's definitely a book you don't want to put down.
Yeah. Cool. So y'all make sure y'all pick up the book, Tales of a Survivor.
Who Are You? Tales of a Survivor. And if you want an autographed copy, reach out to me directly, and then that way I can actually sign one and send it to you. But if you don't care about that, you just go to Amazon or Barnes & Noble, wherever books are sold.
So is this the only book that you have? Do you plan on writing another one?
I'm sure that I will. There's going to be a lot to come from this reality show that is going to be coming out pretty soon. So I'm sure there's going to be another book.
So let's talk about this reality show. Just a little sneak peek of what do people expect from this reality show?
So I'm hoping that people will get, again, a lot of the same empowerment of women working together and being successful in business, and fun and camaraderie and things like that. And I know the time that we live in, a lot of these reality shows like drama and all that kind of stuff, there's always going to be some level of drama when you get a bunch of women together. Yeah. But that's not my focus for the show. You know what I'm saying?
Is it based around your pure romance business?
Yeah, it's based around, and my sexual health care business more so. Yeah.
Okay.
So, for the women that are a part of the show, they're all consultants as well, so they're independent consultants, and they all have a story to tell, and what made me think about doing this, 'cause I hadn't thought about trying to produce a show, but we were actually at a huge convention that we had like right out of the pandemic where things kind of opened up for a minute and then it shut back down.
Yeah.
So it opened up and we had such a huge impact on people virtually. When I say we, meaning my team of the Zealous Zebras, like we've always been known for just our love and just the fun. Like everybody wanted to be a zebra. Like people on other teams, like, girl, I wish I could be on your team. I want you to be my leader. Because we just the air just that we gave off, which people were drawn to that. Like people are looking to be validated. Women, especially, they're looking to be loved. They're looking to be accepted, And so when we showed up for that convention, we were like fucking rock stars. Like it shocked me. I mean, they were just like, oh, it's the zebras. Oh my God, it's Angela. It was just like, and the new girls that were there were like, oh my God, we famous, bitch. Like what's happening? They were like, oh my gosh, girl. They were just soaking it all up.
Yeah.
And so I thought about the ladies that I was there with, like the core group of ladies. And I was like, this is a show. I was like, if we have this kind of impact on these ladies within this realm, we need to take this to the world. If we're going to affect women like this, other people need to see it. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to put my money on this. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I'm a risk taker. I'm put it all out there, you know what I'm saying? And so I did use my money to actually finance this project because I wanted to control the narrative.
And you believed in it.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. And I want to tell my story the way I want to tell my story.
Yeah. So no fighting in there, no drink throwing, no.
There was no drink throwing, there was no physical fighting, but there was a little bit of drama with one of the ladies on there. So we're gonna have on one of the shows towards the end, it's gonna be that whole little blurb like, so-and-so is no longer a part of the show. She had a mental breakdown, decided she didn't want, we had one that just went a little bit to the left. We knew she was going to be a problem, but we needed people to see that problem.
Yeah.
Right.
We needed people to see, like people go through stuff, and I'm not mad at her, but and hopefully she gets the healing that she needs. We tried to love on her and be there for her, but I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not a psychologist, a psychiatrist, and some people just need some professional help, and I think that she needs professional help.
Yeah.
I do. I'm not trying to be funny.
Wild endorsement. Yeah, she needs some help.
She does.
I said
1-800.
But at the same time, I mean, like you said, like you just don't know what women go through.
You don't,
and you can't help everybody.
Nope.
So that's like,
especially not her, huh?
Listen. I was in her corner. I was riding with her. Trust me, I wanted her to win. And she kept putting it into the atmosphere that she wouldn't. She kept saying, I know you and I are going to get into it one day. She's like, it's just going, why do you keep saying that? We're not. She was like, we're going to butt heads. Why? I don't want to butt heads.
Day one?
She just kept saying it. She was butting heads with everybody else.
She was like, you next.
And right.
She was
Like,
preparing you.
Yes.
I'm working my way over there. You next.
I'll be working my way back to. Yeah, I was the buffer between her and everybody else. And finally it came around. It was my turn.
Your turn.
Like you said.
Yeah.
And
you
I was
ready
like,
too.
yeah.
I can look at you right now. You was ready.
But
oh, girl, I've been waiting for this.
No, because it was a huge test for me.
Oh, really?
Because I'm the leader of these women. I'm an example for them.
Right.
So you wanted to cut up, but you couldn't.
Oh,
you was ready.
Peace be still. Peace.
you have no idea the restraint.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
that
you
I had
pulled it
to
off.
have. I did. I pulled it off. It was a very humbling experience because I could not come back at her the way that she came at me. And on our last, event and trip together in Destin, it was horrible. The energy was so bad because of her. And not trying to, I didn't want to make her look bad in the eyes of everybody else. So people who didn't know just didn't know. They were just kind of like, what is going on here? Like, why is it? And why is it?
Not right.
Yeah, but I couldn't really speak on it because it would just open up a whole nother can of worms that I didn't want to taint, her reputation and other, because, whatever we got, we got. But if she cool with this person, let her be cool.
Yeah.
It was rough, man.
Man, you got me wanting to watch it now.
Listen, I'm like, yo.
So when are you looking at
I wanted to get my goons on. I ain't
you
gonna
want
lie. But I held it together and I was an example, and and I'm grown.
Yeah.
I'm a grown ass woman, and so I shouldn't have to get down and dirty like I used to back in the day.
Right.
Take the higher road. I didn't want to go lower.
Look at that growth.
I
Look at
could have
that
went
growth.
lower, but it was Jesus.
That's
it was
something to
bad.
be proud of, though, because you've grown from that.
Oh yeah, because the old Angelia, hey,
Would have took her to church.
under the church. Okay. I mean, because listen, I'm a good girl. I don't want no drama, no problems. But I've been tested a lot in my lifetime. Girls always wanted to fight me.
Yeah.
And I always liked the bad boys. So my boyfriends were drug dealers. They were killers. You know what I'm saying? So it could have went a different way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I just, I'm here because I got out of that lifestyle. And a lot of those people are not here.
So through this process, how was it for you, like, letting your kids know what you actually do whenever you finally exposed it to them?
You know what? I thought that was going to be something tough to do, but the reason why it wasn't is because this isn't centered around sex. It's centered around women's empowerment. And so if you were to ask my kids what I do, even Tano, he will say, I help women. I help women and I help, their relationships and marriages. And even let me tell you, my son, Tano is his middle name. His first name is Justino, but he likes to be called Tano.
Yeah.
He has actually done, I don't want to say trainings, but given motivational speeches to the girls on my team.
Oh, really?
Real talk. Like, he is somebody's CEO all day, every day. He would
Yes.
just be, he would just,
in the work.
yes, he would just tell them, he's like, yes, he was like, you need to get out there and don't be afraid and you got this and you can do it. He was like,
Oh, really? He cutting up.
I'm gonna tell you, if I showed you some of his little videos, like
TV.
people have sent him gift cards. Like,
really?
thank you. Yep. Like, give this to your son. They sent him a little card because he really spoke to them, and hearing it come out of the mouth of a babe really empowered them.
Oh.
So yeah, he's like, and he's very like, when I'm doing my videos and stuff like that at home in my production room, he'll just be like, he'll leave me alone. He's like, oh, I don't want to see your stuff, whatever. So, it's not like he's like around picking up toys or saying whatever. So he knows that there is an adult side to what I do. But the way he sees it, it's normal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which is really how we should be raising our kids. And it's just, you do what you know, because even when I was in this, I realized my oldest daughter, who's now 23, when she turned 18, she started assisting me at parties.
Oh, wow.
And one time on the way home, I'll never forget, she asked me, she said, Mom, she was like, what is the orgasm? And I was like, so here, a light bulb went off. Angie, you are out here empowering other women about their sexual health, and you're not even talking to your own children. Because I've just been so programmed just to not, because it was just bad.
Yeah.
or just that I didn't have those conversations with my mom.
Yeah.
And so, so it's uncomfortable because you kind of have to deprogram yourself and be okay. There are women still in this industry right now. The kids don't know what they do.
Yeah.
And they've been in it 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they're just like, they just don't really know how to present it, or just don't want them to know that mommy sells sex toys. But here's the deal. They're learning this stuff in school.
Yeah.
They're learning it from their friends. And I would much rather them know it from me than to learn it from them. Because you just don't know how it's going to come out over there.
Yeah, you know the right information.
Yeah, and they're getting it at a young age. If you have your kids on social media, if they're playing these video games, you got these ads that are popping up that shouldn't be, and they're seeing naked women and all the stuff. So you have to educate them, because that secrecy, that it makes them want to explore and know. And then that makes them do things that might be inappropriate because they've not been educated on what is appropriate for your age and what is not. And then when their bodies go through changes and they start feeling things and their hormones are raging, what do they do with those? You know what I'm saying? We got to talk to them about what you do. And it's uncomfortable, yes. But the more that you normalize it, then it's not uncomfortable.
Right. You have a daughter that's a consultant too, don't you?
Corinne, she used to be. So yeah, she's now, her heart has always been photography. And I mean, well, earlier on when she was younger, she wanted to be a pediatrician, but she got the journalism bug and the photography bug. So she's away at school now, and her major is photojournalism.
Oh, that's cool.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Proud of your kids and everything they've done.
Most of them, yes. Most of them. Some are still trying to get it together. But I mean, look at all of that I went through. Oh, yeah. And I turned out okay. So I feel like this. My children belong to God first.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I can't possibly love them more than he does.
Yes.
So whatever they're not doing, whatever they're doing or not doing that isn't pleasing in my eyes, I got to give it up to God and trust that they've been raised up and they're going to return back to what they know is right. So, yeah.
So what's next for you? What's your future?
This show, I got to get this show out. This is what's next. This is my main focus, is getting this show out and being able to expand it from there, because there's a lot of women that have a story to tell. So this is not just about these women in this first season. Like, I want to be able to have the second season be about a whole different group of women and following them and their lives and what they're going through, because that's how women get saved. When they get to see another woman that is like, wow, like she went through the things that I went through, or that's my situation. Yeah. But look at where she is now. So there is hope for me, and my life doesn't have to go to shit. Yeah. Right? You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like that, and it needs to be all races and cultures and all of that. So I'm really looking to be able to take my story and other women's stories to the world, because I'm just out here trying to save the world one vagina at a time. Hey, that's it. That's it.
Yep. Wait, what's your gang sign again? Hey.
Okay. Right. And look, and you see my husband, his is this. Look, it's so like that. Yeah.
Oh, I got it.
Yes, he is gonna crack up when he.
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
He was like, "Hey, we need a sign too." Like, hold up, we got a sign. Oh yeah, so funny.
That's too funny, man. Angel is crazy. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah. So that's definitely, I got to make that happen. So that's what's next. So we have several networks that are interested in the project. We just have to get it all together and finish. Like all of I didn't realize we have 3 years worth of footage.
Oh really? Yeah, because y'all shot at our office one day.
Yeah. We have 3 years of footage, and so one thing that threw a monkey wrench into the timeline was the pandemic and us not having, because the way the show was supposed to end was at our world conference and seeing how we went from this to this, and this is a celebration. But then because of the pandemic, we didn't have it. And so we're like, how are we going to end the show now? So then we ended up doing the trip to Destin. That was supposed to be like, the grand finale. But then because it took so long to kind of start the editing process for things, we came back around the following year. And then we had this big world conference. I'm like, we want to get this footage so we can add it. And then we had the changes with the company. So there's a different way the story is going to be told. And I'm really excited for how it's all being done and edited. So make sure you all check it out. You'll know when it's ready. It's going to be blasted everywhere. Trust.
Yeah.